Hi there, it is Tuesday, January 27th, about 5 o'clock here, and this is a meeting of the Recreation and Parks Committee. I am Brock Heath, chair of this committee. The other committee members are Mrs. Robin Oda, which is, she's not here today, and then Mr. Doug Tremblay to my left here. And we are meeting here today to provide a recommendation to council regarding authorizing the Recreation Board to enter into an agreement with Crossroads Consulting Services to perform the feasibility study for a second sheet of ice at Hobart Arena at a cost not to exceed $50,000. Mr. Titterton, do you have any more information on that for us?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
As you might recall, in the 2015 budget, Council approved $50,000 for this study. This study was requested after some discussion previously with regards to the arena renovation project. It was not included, this item was not included in the recommended costs there, but the interest is there, and so the council and the staff wanted to see primarily what is the economic impact and the financial feasibility from a business perspective of in particular, of a second sheet of ice either added to the arena or directly adjacent to it. So we are asking for your recommendation to the council to authorize that agreement and the amount not to exceed $50,000 for Crossroads Consulting. Crossroads is the one that did the original arena study last year, and they are, since they have done that similar work, they are very familiar with the arena from the work that they've done. The recreation board, the recreation staff and the recreation board both recommend that as well. Martin Hobart, who is the president of the recreation board, is in the audience. Recreation director Ken Seiler apologizes he could not make it today, he had a previous commitment, but Mr. Hobart is here if you have any questions.
Perfect, thank you.
We are not asking for an emergency.
All right, thank you, Mr. Titterton. Can you go over a little bit about the time frame as far as, I knew that it was going to be sometime in 2015. It seems early with everything else going on, but is that ideally kind of a good time to do it, get it done, and then they can start doing some more information later?
This project will take several months to do. We don't want to wait until the end of the year to do this. This just provides us the opportunity to do it, given that Crossroads has done the first major consulting and is done with that part, with that project, the overall arena. It's timely that they would continue to do work on the ice rink.
And I guess this is just to really find out a lot of the numbers and different things and make sure that it would make sense to move forward with or not to move forward with. And
That's
so,
correct. This is not a commitment to construct anything, to borrow any money, to do anything other than to analyze the potential.
and even at this point, if we were to ask before we spend this money, is this something that we could move forward with or would make sense? Really, we need this study to be able to determine a lot of those things.
That's correct. Also, how much it would cost, and then from that standpoint, if it is feasible, then how would we move forward and pay for it?
And I know from my time on the Recreation Department board that there are a lot of events that we are restricted from, and I think that continues to move forward in the future without this. So I think it would make sense to at least look at and get some information on this. Do you have any questions?
One comment I had was I was very surprised that there were people who were interested in a second sheet of ice early on, to the point where the original renovations, they really weren't even thinking that. But there are lots of questions. But when you get the questions answered, it's like, say, with the feasibility study, which is a great idea. I mean, there's nothing in the budget to do anything at this point anyway, other than get our questions answered.
And I think it makes sense to do that, if we were to move forward, if it ends up being a good idea, we're not gonna be able to do anything without some kind of a study anyway. You know, if we just sat around and decided, well, this is probably a good idea, it would be good to have that professional organization's backing and all the numbers there. And I was also very surprised with the amount of support that the ice rink got. I mean, you know, from some of the people that were negative about some of the other renovations, they were excited about the ice rink specifically, so. Do you have any questions besides that?
No, I think it's a good thing to find out answers to our questions.
Mr. Hobart, I appreciate you coming to the meeting today. Is there anything that you'd like to add as we move forward here?
Not at this time. I think it's been explained very well.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Are there any questions from other members of council here? Madam President? Anybody else, staff, public? Looks like we've got no questions or comments right now, so how would you like to proceed?
I'd like to move forward.
I would like to as well, so we'll make this recommendation to move forward, please. Anything else for us today? We've got nothing for you. Meeting adjourned. Thanks.
All right, I call this meeting for the Community and Economic Development Committee on Tuesday, January 27th at 6:01. We are here today to provide a recommendation to council regarding ordinance number 012015, the rezoning of 40 parcels, formerly Hobart Brothers and ITW factory site and parking lots, from M2 Light Industrial District to OC1 Office Commercial District. Patrick, would you like to update us?
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, yes. I am Bill Twist, Committee Chair. To my right is Tom Kendall. To the left is John Schweizer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We are asking for a recommendation to council for this rezoning. This is a property at the corner of Adams Street and West Main, formerly the ITW Hobart building that was demolished and is now in the process of being cleared out. We had requested, well, it's been zoned M2 manufacturing, which would allow just about any non-really intensive industrial use. With the pattern of use over the years, however, that zoning really isn't compatible with that area. And so we reached out to ITW. They were fine with us going through the process of rezoning that. We felt in discussions with the Troy Development Council that an office commercial designation would be the appropriate buffer type business zoning between the business and the residences that are in the area. Recognizing that this is a rezoning of 40 parcels, it is once you assemble those 40 parcels, it is a fairly large assembly of lots, split almost down the middle, maybe 60-40 by Water Street. And that one of the options ultimately in the redevelopment plan may be a planned development. As a matter of fact, unless it was a single corporate headquarters type use or regional operation that would take that kind of acreage, we would anticipate that we may get some proposals to do something like a mixed use that would lend itself more to a planned development. So we wanted to get it out of the manufacturing and into more a softer business type zoning. The office commercial allows some light retail, light businesses, also the office use. We did take this to the Planning Commission. They unanimously recommended it to the council. There was a public hearing at the last council meeting, and there were no comments made at all. This is not recommended as an emergency, but again, we are recommending the rezoning go forward to the council for third reading next week.
Okay, Nate, any questions?
I do have one, Patrick. Once someone would come in to start buying the parcels, whether it be one developer or whether the 40 individuals are sold, would it be coming back to us with the type of business that would be going in, or if it meets that OC1 criteria, it can go through automatically?
That's an interesting question. First of all, if it just came back, you know, if somebody wanted to buy one of the 40 parcels and redevelopment as with a use that's compatible in the OC1 district, no, it would not come back to council. The likelihood of that happening, however, is remote. ITW and the Troy Development Council have partnered on an agreement where the TDC will be actively marketing on, not on behalf of ITW, but will bring proposals to ITW. ITW then would do any negotiations with the final user, developer, buyer. So it's not a realtor type arrangement. There's no commission or anything like that. But ITW is giving the flexibility to the TDC to look at the whole site, to look at what the best use of the property is, and then the TDC will be able to make that recommendation. So I would find it very unlikely if ITW were to entertain individual sale of lots, some of which are, you know, pretty small in size.
Right.
They're just kind of scattered straggler type lots, but more likely it would be recommended for a developer or a group of developers in partnership and looking at the whole site as one.
Have we as a city considered buying it?
The asking price is very steep. The city's core competence is not, and never has been, and may never be, to redevelop sites such as that. We will be working with the TDC in their endeavors. We'll be a partner with them. So we will have much to say about the redevelopment of that site. But beyond that, unless we had a use for ourselves, which I don't see, I think that site is a prime location along the riverfront, well positioned to be redeveloped in a pretty nice way.
Or definitely a windfall donation from someone, but one last question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, well, I said one, but it's my understanding the 40 lot sizes, or 40 lots, was what the original number of lots was when Hobart bought all that property? Is that true?
That I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been replatted at all, and Hobart's had it for quite some time, so
Right.
they're cut up into really small parcels.
Okay, so basically they bought 40 parcels in Troy to build their plan. Oh, actually, more than that way, if you take
Parking
in.
lot or green
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
So buyers could replot and buy 20 at a time or 10 at a time. That can be part of the,
If
if
ITW
they
were
want it,
willing
yeah,
to sell it, yes, they could.
that parcel does. John?
No, I really don't have any questions. I know there's a number of people that are very passionate about what that property should become. And I think the OC1 speaks to all those different passions that people have. In addition, it makes a better buffer than M2 for the residential that's up on North Elm Street and with that whole area. I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, the OC1 is similar to most of what the other, just the zoning is is there right now? I mean, OC1 or
The zoning
is,
surrounding it is business. We have a mapping here, I apologize. Tim, do you know that off the top of your head?
Yeah,
mainly probably business and.
yeah, and a lot of it's B2 around it, which is our general business district. As you go up North Elm Street, it becomes R6, which is a two-family. And on Adams Street, there's also some single-family and R7 multifamily. So it is surrounded by residential and commercial.
Oh, okay. I see the map. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from city staff? What do you think?
Favor, go forward.
Absolutely, move forward.
I'm in favor, if you prepare the paperwork to go forward to switch the zoning. Anything else to come before the committee? All right, this meeting is adjourned.